My name is Rose. I grew up in a small town. I was the first daughter of my parents. I had only one younger sister. Her name was Kate. From when we were children, Kate and I were very close. We shared clothes, food, secrets, and even friends. I trusted her with everything. She was not only my sister, but also my best friend. As we grew older, people always compared us. They said I was the quiet and calm one, while Kate was the bold and outgoing one. She was beautiful in a loud way. She loved attention. I, on the other hand, liked to stay simple. I did not like too much drama. When I was 22, I met David. He was tall, kind, and hardworking. He was not very rich, but he was focused. He respected me, and from that time, I knew he was serious about me. We started dating, and for the first time in my life, I felt like I had found someone who truly cared for me. David met my parents, and they liked him. My mother even said he was a good man. Kate also met him, and she smiled at him in a way I did not notice at first. She laughed at all his jokes. She even teased me when he wasn't around, saying I had gotten myself a good man. I thought it was just normal sister talk. 2 years later, David asked me to marry him. I said yes with tears in my eyes. It was the happiest day of my life. We had a simple wedding. My parents were proud. Kate was my maid of honor. She stood beside me, smiling all through. I thought everything was perfect. I thought my life was just beginning. Marriage was not always easy, but David and I managed. He worked hard while I tried my best to support him. We loved each other deeply. After 1 year, I gave birth to a baby boy. We named him Daniel. He brought so much joy into our home. David was a wonderful father, and I felt blessed. But slowly, I started noticing things. Kate began visiting our house too often. At first, I didn't mind. She said she was just helping me with the baby. She cooked sometimes, cleaned, and even carried Daniel to sleep. I was grateful. But I started seeing the way she looked at David. Sometimes, when she thought I was not watching, she stared at him for too long. One evening, I came back from the market earlier than expected. I opened the door and found Kate and David sitting too close on the couch. Their hands were almost touching. They jumped when they saw me. Kate laughed nervously and said, they were only watching TV. I wanted to believe her, so I did. But things continued. Kate started wearing short dresses whenever she came to visit. She would bend in front of David in a careless way. Sometimes, she called him by his first name, something she never did before. I told myself I was just being jealous. I didn't want to think my own sister could betray me. Then it happened. One night, David came home late. He smelled of perfume that wasn't mine. His shirt was wrinkled. When I asked him, he said he was stuck at work. I tried to ignore it, but in my heart, I knew something was wrong. The next week, I went to Kate's apartment to surprise her. I knocked several times, but no one answered. I turned to leave, but then I saw David's car parked at the corner of the street. My heart began to race. I waited. After a while, the door opened. David walked out, looking around like a thief. Kate came to the door, wearing only a wrapper. She kissed him on the cheek before he left. I felt my world crash. I could not breathe. My sister, my own blood, the one I trusted most, she was sleeping with my husband. I went home in silence. When David came back that night, I did not say a word. I sat on the bed, holding Daniel in my arms, and cried quietly. The man I loved and the sister I trusted had stabbed me in the back. The next day, I confronted Kate. I asked her why she would do such a thing to me. She didn't even look ashamed. She laughed and said, David never truly loved me. She said I was too plain, too boring. She said David deserved someone more exciting, someone like her. Her words cut through me like a knife. I turned to David, hoping he would deny it, hoping he would fight for me, but he stood there in silence. He could not even look me in the eye. That silence was louder than any confession. Days turned into weeks. My marriage broke apart. David started spending more time with Kate. He would come home late and sometimes not at all. When I asked him about our son, he said I was making things difficult. One afternoon, Kate came to my house boldly. She looked at me in the face and said, David had chosen her. She said I should let go. She said I was weak and that David needed a strong woman. I could not believe my ears. This was my sister, the same sister I carried on my back when she was little. The same girl I defended in school when other children mocked her. I asked her if blood meant nothing to her. She only smiled and said, Love is stronger than blood. Then she walked out of my house with no shame. My parents were shocked when they found out. My mother wept. She could not believe a younger daughter would betray the elder one like this. My father was angry, but there was little he could do. Kate was stubborn, and David had already made his choice. My nights became long and full of tears. I could not sleep. I looked at my son and wondered how to explain that his father had chosen my sister over me. The pain was too much. I felt like a stranger in my own life. Months later, David moved out completely. He started living with Kate. People in town talked. Some pitied me. Others mocked me. They said I was not good enough to keep my husband. The shame was unbearable. But through it all, I held on to my son. Daniel was the only reason I didn't give up on life. I worked harder, tried to earn enough to take care of him, and prayed every night for strength. Years passed. Kate and David never lasted. They fought often. David lost his job, and the love they thought they had turned into bitterness. Kate came back to me one day crying. She said she was sorry. She said David had left her for another woman. She begged me to forgive her. I looked at her, the sister who had once been my best friend, but also my deepest wound. I wanted to scream. I wanted to remind her of how she destroyed my home, but instead, I stayed quiet. I realized forgiveness was not for her, but for me. I forgave her in my heart, but I never let her close again. Some wounds may heal, but the scars remain. David tried to come back too. He said he made a mistake. He begged me to take him back, but I had grown stronger. I had learned to live without him. I told him no. I told him he made his choice, and now he must live with it. Today, I raise my son alone. Life is not easy, but I am free. I no longer cry at night. I no longer wait for a man who betrayed me. My sister stole my husband, but she did not steal my strength. I survived, and this is my story.